On Wednesday of this week, Donald Trump decided to attend a town hall hosted by the media outlet News Nation, except that Donald Trump didn't actually attend it. He just called into it. Apparently he didn't feel like going and doing this in person, so he phoned it in, quite literally. And the three moderators on stage, a kind of who's who of weirdos, Chris Cuomo, Bill O'Reilly, and sports commentator Stephen A. Smith, who has also teased a potential 2028 presidential run. But during this town hall, Donald Trump said something so insane in response to a question that it left even conservatives questioning Donald Trump's mental capacities. So here is Donald Trump being asked a question about Harvard and his attacks on that prestigious university. And instead of answering it, Trump talks about how much black people love him. Here it is.
Time. Mr. President, thank you for your time. It's interesting that you brought up Harvard, because when people think about Harvard, what they're basically talking about is they're asking, what do you say to those who view your actions as an attack on academic freedom rather than a defense of fairness? What do you say to that?
Well, I say this. We had riots in Harlem, in Harlem, and frankly, if you look at what's gone on, and people from Harlem went up and they protested, Stephen, and they protested very strongly against Harvard. They happened to be on my side. You know, I got a very high black vote. You know that. Very, very high black vote. It was a very great compliment to me. I did criminal justice reform. I did opportunity zones for one of the greatest economic deals ever for the black and Hispanic community. I got tremendous. They agree with what I'm doing with respect to Harvard. Harvard gets 4 or 5.
So, as I mentioned, even conservatives were questioning Donald Trump's mental state. GOP strategist Sarah Longwell posted on social media, quote, "What the hell is this? Our president's brain is mashed potatoes." Which, honestly, to me, it is kind of funny that she used that specific analogy, because I've literally been saying Trump's brain is mashed potatoes for over a year now, specifically saying mashed potatoes. So I don't know if she watches this or what, or if she just came to that conclusion on her own. But either way, his brain is mashed potatoes. And I love that analogy, because that's what it is. There's just this ball of goop in there, and the gravy's dripping out of his ears because he has no idea what the hell he's talking about. Now, I'll give you that Harvard and Harlem start with the same 3 letters, H-A-R. But then you're left with the rest of the word, Vard, Lem. Now those two, like the end of both of those words, Vard and Lem, do not sound anything like each other. The Har, absolutely. I'll give you that. But Harvard and Harlem, even if you're on the phone, even if you got a bad connection, no, there's no excuse for getting those two things mixed up, if that is, of course, what happened. But Trump goes on to say, like, they like what he's doing to Harvard, so it doesn't sound like he had mixed the words up. What I'm assuming happened is that because Stephen A. Smith is a black man, and he was the one who directed the conversation towards Harvard, that Trump was like, hey, a black guy's asking me a question. I gotta be like, hey, black people love me, right? I think that's what it was. I don't think he got the words confused. I think he was trying to pander to Stephen A. Smith. The worst part is that that wasn't the only time that people questioned this man's sanity. Because at another point, another person got up and asked him, a person named Lee, and said, what's the biggest mistake you think you've made in the first 100 days? And Trump responded saying, quote, I'll tell you, that's the toughest question I can have, because I don't really believe I've made any mistakes. At which point, the audience, made up of Democrats, moderates, and Republicans, burst out in laughter. They were laughing so loudly at Donald Trump saying he hadn't made any mistakes that Bill O'Reilly had to chime in and say, I think Lee is reassured. Meaning the audience agrees with Lee that, hey, you've made a lot of mistakes. How about the fact that you've fired bunch of federal workers, and then oops, you had to rehire them because you realized we can't run the government without these people. They're kind of important. Or how about all the lies that Doge has told about the money they've allegedly saved from contracts that expired back in 2005? What about Signalgate? What about Signalgate 2.0? What about the fact that you guys basically fired Mike Waltz on Thursday and then immediately rehired him to another position? And he was the guy, like the centerpiece of Signalgate. I mean, the list is endless. You guys have been sued more than 100 times. You've been sued more than once per day. So you've made mistakes. You tanked the economy. You tanked the stock market. You're telling people, suck it up. You did vote for this. You've made a lot of mistakes. So the audience was, of course, correct to laugh at you. But all of this underscores the larger point. There is something wrong with Donald Trump mentally. And I do believe there is both a neurological component, possibly some kind of early onset or early stages, I should say, of Alzheimer's, dementia. He has exhibited symptoms of both of them. And there is obviously, as mental health professionals have warned us for 9 years now, the psychological component. So you have the psychological issues, you have the neurological issues, add all that together, and yes, Donald Trump has mashed potatoes for brains. And that is why the man can't form a coherent thought, sentence, or response to a question to save his life. Welcome to the Ring of Fire YouTube channel. I am Farron Cousins, the host of Ring of Fire here on YouTube. I don't know if this is your first time here, or maybe you're somebody who comes here every single day, but either way, let me tell you what's going on. Ring of Fire was actually started in the year 2004 by none other than our own America's lawyer, Mike Papantonio. And over the last 20 plus years, Ring of Fire has gone from being a 1-hour weekend radio program on Air America through a series of changes. Go Left TV, which we started back in 2007. We've been on the Young Turks network. And of course, this very YouTube channel here that started, obviously, as they all do, with no subscribers. And we've now ballooned to well over 1 million as we go on our way to that 2 million mark. So again, if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe. Take a few minutes, look around. We have content that actually goes back 20 years. So there's lots to see, there's lots to do. And trust me, with the next 4 years of Donald Trump getting back in office, we will be here every day, every single day with fresh content for you to keep you informed about what's happening and, of course, to warn you of the potential dangers that Donald Trump poses as we approach his second term.